Guys, we are still here with the lovely ladies, Anita and Fiona, and they have talked about, you know, the pregnancy and how the birthing process was, and now we're going into postpartum. Now, I know third trimester is hard, but fourth trimester, guys, is like the worst thing that ever happened. I don't know, for me, you know. So welcome back to the channel.
Thank you.
Yeah, so if you've not watched the first part, please do so. It will give you context of what we're talking about. Anita and Fiona have lovely they both have twins, yeah? Boys at that. So please just walk us through. How is the fourth trimester like for you guys who have twins? Now they have come out. Eh? Do you sleep? Are you still sleeping? Because what is sleep? Eh? Yeah, Anita. Yeah.
I was in a work meeting and someone asked me, like, what's on your bucket list? I'm like, sleep.
Yes.
On my bucket.
Yeah, not to travel. Not yet. I want to
Everyone
sleep.
was like, I want to travel. This guy, I'm like, sleep.
Yeah.
It was funny.
Yeah. Tell us more about it. You know, after you brought the twins home, what's happening?
I think one big mistake I made, if I'm to look back, I should have stayed in the hospital longer. I was so excited to come out home, you know, and I was like, oh, I have a support system. I'm going home. We're going to start this journey after I get birth naturally. So, you know, but I should have probably, if I'm to go back, I should have stayed like 2 extra nights just to rest and have the nurses take care of the children, allow myself to first
breathe,
you know, and I did not do that. I felt like, you know, when you're giving birth naturally, you literally check out the next day, which was a huge mistake. I should have just paid for extra days and just chill, have the nurses do the work while I first arrive and recover. The fourth trimester was tough. It was tough.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was very tough, but it's also because at a point I had set very high expectations for myself. It's after going through the fourth trimester that I realized I should have shown myself grace. So we get back home. I did not have breast milk for about 5 days, and I was staying at my parents'. But you know, parents lived in, remember things of those days, you know, and what. And I mean, they might have come from an ignorant point of view, but also from their experiences. And their experiences they had singletons. Yeah. They didn't have multiples. So also because I gave birth early, not as what the singletons reach, the 14 weeks and what, the body had not yet dawned on the body that it's time for milk, you know. So my breast milk did not come until after 5 days.
Oh my God.
And because there was pressure from external parties, breastfeeding, and no one is crazy.
Like everyone is, you know.
Everyone is writing for
Someone's like, don't even give formula. I was like, I take give glucose. I said, no, don't.
Yes.
It's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. And I'm thinking, this formula. So you're there, you're still struggling with these body changes that have suddenly happened. I wasn't a very big pregnant woman. Okay, the tummy was big, but I wasn't very big, per se, compared to what you would have expected. But after birth, I just bloated. I bloated. I was too swollen. Yeah.
Is that water retention? Was it water?
Yeah, the water retention was so high. My feet were like someone that probably had elephantiasis.
Yeah. So
big
huge.
And dark. I retained a lot of water, so I'm struggling with those body changes. I'm struggling with, I had a small tear, so I was stitched. Yeah. There was that discomfort, and then the bleeding, because I bled for 6 weeks. You're struggling with the bleeding. And then someone is telling you, oh, put the baby on the boob, do this. Like, please allow me to first arrive, to breathe, to take in this sudden change that happened overnight. It was hard. The external parties made it harder. And I think, again, if I look back, if you're a first-time mom and you're a young couple and what, I don't buy that idea anymore of go and stay with your parents. Go back home and figure it out with your spouse.
It depends on the spouse you have, my
again,
dear. Hey, you can cry tears. You have
Yes, again, it depends on the situation.
Yes.
Customized as required. For me,
it was too much.
There was a lot of pressure. And because I was a firstborn, this was the first time.
Everyone is their first experience.
So it's the first experience for the whole house. The first night I go home, my mom has prepared for me the room, the children's co-sleepers are there, and what? Now, my mom was supposed to take care of me, was sleeping more than me.
She's not the mom for her, my friend.
And then she'll just come. Why are those children crying?
Please carry one, please.
Help me. Help me. You know? Like,
but they have also forgotten sometimes.
Yeah, to be honest,
that's true.
I forgot. She probably gave that to me when she was about 22 or
yeah, she can't remember.
She had forgotten. So we're all there, amateurs, stuck in
They
the
don't
house.
want to
My
know
dad
that
would
they're
just come, put his hand on like, I was like, I sympathize with you.
That's
But
all.
he's not doing anything about it. It was, the first night was horrible. And I was like, I should have just stayed in hospital for even 3 days so that these people sought me while I recover. It was a lot. So we didn't sleep that whole night. Remember, the previous night I was in labor. I've checked out very fast. That whole night, the children just decided we are going on cry mode.
You started early.
Night, they were crying. I don't know if it was change of environment but later I discovered we were underfeeding the kids. They were, I didn't recognize that I had guzzlers. You know, if they were cars, I don't know which car gas was fuel.
At your boys.
Exactly. In the hospital,
So what were you giving them?
Formula, but in the hospital they had told us, give is it 15 ml, is it 30? My kids were not 30 ml boys.
They were like,
please. 60 ml, exactly. So we were
60?
underfeeding. Yes, my kids were guzzlers.
Oh my God, they were hungry little boys.
The boys were starving. So that meant every 30 minutes, back to back, they are waking up. And you're like, okay, we just fed you. My mom is like, okay, check diaper is dry.
Clean.
Maybe it's colic, but it can't be colic.
It's too early.
Maybe we were all learning on job.
Yeah.
By morning, the whole house was in the mess. Bottles were scattered everywhere because...
Oh my God. Yeah.
It's like, it was a terrible night. So that morning, I get all of them. I'm like, okay, I had people say chest to chest. I don't know. Maybe they're facing anxiety.
Bonding, they need some.
I put them on the chest. I'm like, okay, they slept for like an hour, back to factory setting.
Yeah.
I don't know why it didn't dawn on us that just put milk in that bottle. If they leave it, let them leave. You're underfeeding these kids. So with time, we started to adjust and learn that. And a lot of that happened when we relocated back home, and now we're in a more safe
environment,
space.
more safe,
A familiar environment. So we started to discover, okay, maybe we need to try this, we need to try this. Another huge challenge we faced, of course, was no sleep. The kids were waking up back to back. You've just finished feeding this one, you've put this one to sleep, the other's waking up. We were sleeping for 1 hour in 24 hours.
That's crazy. That's
By
crazy.
morning, I looked like a zombie.
And you could run mad, literally.
We were running mad. I would talk uncoordinated things. My husband had to ask my parents for permission to come home and just help, because he realized that people at home were more amateurs than him. At least him, he was involved in hospital. He knew some of the lessons we were given, so he stepped in to help with the night shifts. So one of the ways we tried to get out of that sort of depression, or get depressed in that moment, was to make fun out of the situation. So we started giving nicknames to the boys. We started giving names to the different shifts we do, make fun out of it, to try and forget.
To bring light.
To bring light. Because our life was so mechanical. if you're not feeding a child, if I'm not feeding a child, I am pumping. If I'm not pumping the other child, if I'm not doing that, I have to eat. You're eating food. I don't remember where I ate food in peace.
You can't.
You're eating food
because the baby may wake up.
Yes, the baby, and then also the people at home are like, hurry up to eat. The baby's going. Even them, they were traumatized to babysit. So you're like, it's only me who can manage my own children.
Yeah,
they were equally traumatized and showing you that they are doing you a favor.
Yeah, you see.
So you're living with this thing of, this one is helping me. And where depression kicked in was when I realized everyone at home, including my husband, had the flexibility to decide their day or where they are going.
Yeah.
But me, I'm stuck and locked up with these two humans.
Yeah.
So because of that stress, after 5 days, my milk came. I started expressing milk. The milk supply increased to 2 liters a day. The kids were getting milk, but it was not enough.
It can't.
It was a single ton. I think that 2 liters, they would enjoy it properly.
Yeah.
The milk was not enough for these guzzlers.
Yeah.
So I had to top up with formula. They were taking 1 tin of Aptamil a day.
Today we are shooting at the lovely Canary Hotel. If you want a space to come and have a meeting, enjoy some good food, this is the place for you. They have an amazing offer where at 30,000 shillings you can have a meeting here, work from here, and have bottomless coffee. Imagine all day, you know, you have some coffee, free Wi-Fi. It's something that you should try. So please come to Canary Hotel and you will enjoy some amazing offers. Let me first come back to Fiona to first tell us, how was your first week with the twins? Before we go into that money that Anita is spending on
they were cheap before, now
they are paying back.
We
you see, with a C-section, you don't leave hospital.
Yeah.
So for me, the first 3 days were in the hospital.
Yeah.
But not with the babies. Yeah. But I kept on wondering, why don't I have babies? Yeah, why don't I have babies? And I must say, it's not as simple as it looks. According to my experience, for a mother to have babies and not have them, I think in our antenatal classes they should prepare for us mentally for that. Sometimes you may give birth and not have babies immediately. So
where was your case like that?
They were taken to NICU just to observe them since they were 2, just to observe them too. And then the time that I'm also in the hospital with them, and the fact that they had come out at about 2.2 and 2.3 kgs respectively.
Okay.
So it never crossed my mind at that moment that I couldn't really have them.
Yeah.
So my first few days, I had questions. And then I was surprised when someone called in and said, but when are you going to breastfeed the babies? And I'm like, you didn't give them to me.
Yeah.
You get it? So, so you see the dynamics of giving birth are wide. So we should really extend grace to mothers and to the medical practitioners. Because I think in their mind they thought I would find it obvious.
Yeah. It's I don't know.
I need to leave my bed and
breastfeed. And I got a shock of my life. When I finally sloped to put one baby on the boob, they just said,
they didn't want. They were not interested.
They said, you're giving us fake food.
Yeah.
And it was not as easy as, it was not as laughable at that point as it is now.
Yeah.
I said, a baby doesn't like her breast. Wow. Okay. I said, this baby number 1 doesn't like her breast. The nurse was like, okay, bring that baby number 1. Baby number 1, you're going to eat glucose because you don't like breast. Baby number 2 put that on and did nothing.
They were not suckling.
And then the nurse came and pressed my breast, and it dawned on me that I didn't have breast milk. Yeah. So I walked out sadder than I walked in.
Yeah.
Yes, the reality that I did not have breast milk.
Yeah.
For me, it's not something that I had anticipated for. So, and that is when I go back to my matron. My matron was with me. My mom would come in the morning, then she goes to tend to the food at home, then come back. So that was the morning after we gave birth the previous day. And I said, what, you know what? I don't have
breast milk.
And I think the first twin is so wise for him. He just even said,
but he's so wise. Yeah.
And having come with all this background information, if you give a baby formula, you're going to do this. So my matron immediately said, no, let us go and buy for them formula. I said, no, how can they have formula? That's
They have to take the first meal.
it was a struggle to make me accept that actually babies can start off their life on earth with formula. Yes. And so this lady was gracious enough not to listen to me, but go and pick the formula. We had come with our bottles because we used to laugh and say, how can you put one baby here and another baby here?
Yeah.
So one we shall give and then
Keep
yeah.
exchanging.
Yeah. So I actually didn't witness their first feeding because it was still a haunting on my end that why don't I have breast milk for them? So yeah, and on day 3, as we were there, so I hear an announcement, Fiona, here are your babies. Now, we are supposed to go home with them the next day. Now, from here, I don't know what these people in Nepal have been experiencing with them. So, that day, we are like, let us fast. They told me they're going to do an observation of how I'm going to have 2 babies by my bedside and how I'm performing with them. So, fast forward, we try to sleep. Lisa.
You were like, why are you here? What's happening?
Where did you come from? I sat up. It's about 8 p.m. I'm like, guys are crying. I'm like, okay, what? We've been giving them formula. Yes, we've been. I gave formula. I'm thinking it's now. Oh,
okay.
You've been given formula. Sleep. As soon as I put my head down, the other one, I said, okay. I wake up. We give formula. I give formula. Now, I think, like she has said, that is one. I think that is one thing that maybe even them, our medical practitioners, we cannot really blame. They told us these babies take 30 mils of milk.
Yeah, that's what they know.
That's what they know. These babies wanted more, and their mother doesn't have breast milk yet. So I wish I had known that earlier too, that they needed. My friend, that first night, it was for jumping up and down. Someone sleeps for 30 minutes, they wake up. And then, it didn't do me well. That first night didn't do me well. And for me, it escalated into a 4th trimester is not easy, but it worsened it.
Yeah.
Now, when those babies cried so much that night, I look at myself as someone who has already failed that guys. And then, I got a headache that till today I cannot explain to you, my dear.
Are you
because
serious?
I started treating it 3 weeks later. It was the last night my brain could get into sleep mode.
Huh?
Yeah. Actually, I underwent a depression that at some point I even don't know how to. I don't know. Because this headache, like the next day, because everyone now is around, you try to smile, but you have a headache. I slept for the first 3 nights when I was alone, but when these people came, I got a headache. So, and for me, when even we settled back home and all that, my friend, everyone is excitement started to, to recede.
When they begin seeing you and everything.
Everyone starts to go like,
people just start dodging.
we start to appreciate. You put this baby to sleep, this one
Wakes up.
I have so many videos of these boys that one day I'm going to tell them, this was night this is night 4, this is night 8. Lisa, I was awake for 3 weeks. 24 hours naturally opening my eyes.
You're kidding.
I'm not.
That thing can kill you. My God, what?
Yeah, so for me that is the worst that happened to me. And it was my husband who looked at me one time and was almost collapsing with a baby and said, what is happening? I told him, I can't sleep. Even if you take out these babies, I cannot sleep.
Yeah.
I can't sleep. In my previous life, sleep has always been therapy. For me, even when I'm going to crack a deal,
If I sleep
give
home.
me 30 minutes. I come back, I've added more zeros. But now this moment was depriving me of that, of sleep. People before it made life hard. I got a headache that till today I cannot. And that is how I started to undergo treatment of depression. But with a cause that, yes, later on there was hormone imbalances and all these things, but I had a headache. And so I could not breastfeed.
So as we talk about breastfeeding, because it seems to be a challenge, you know, and I feel like we're not getting the support that we need, especially in the hospital, like people telling you exactly what to expect, or them showing you how, or preparing you in advance. I feel like there is a gap in there.
It's a huge one.
Yeah, because everyone is struggling. Okay, many, I don't say everyone, many are struggling, you know. So going back to you, Anita, as you're talking about your boys taking, you said 1 tin of formula?
Yeah. I think that the challenge we face is society has made it look like, which is valid, but they need to put some context. We need to customize. Society has made it look like, oh, if you don't breastfeed your children,
you're failed.
You're failed, and your children will not be healthy. They will not grow. But they're also not coming back to tell us, however, there's some women that face
this challenges.
So in hospital, you're being told, breastfeed for at least 6 months. Do what? Enlarge your nipple. They even did for me that thing of enlarging the nipple. From nowhere, my nipples became flaccid before birth. The doctor says, like, your nipples are very okay for you. After birth, nothing. They had to. So, but no one is telling you these are some of the things you might face. Maybe mastitis, maybe your breast getting hard, maybe what. So I was on that pressure of, I have to keep my kids alive. The only way to do that is breast milk. I'm going to do all it
the
takes.
best.
You should have seen the joy I had when I first got the first breast milk. I was so excited. I was so determined. Oh, what should I eat? Pumped milk, what? But I wasn't matching up. I felt so guilty like her that I was giving my children formula. Just like how my first twin refused the boob. From day one, that already made me depressed. I felt like,
I have this one role to provide. The body has failed me.
Josiah refused. The second twin accepted, but as and when he feels like, I just want to be next to you.
Do you think it was because of it was not enough? Or
because of the delay for it to be enough, because they loved a lot of milk and I didn't have that, and so they got used to the bottle
that gives
a lot
too much. That's
so
what happens.
Like, okay, you've saved me the burden of 1 year. Let me express this milk and give you in the bottle, until I started realizing that every time my breasts were full, they would itch. Like,
what's happening?
Is this normal? I go and Google. They're like, sometimes it's like, okay. And then I made sure my hygiene is right. Another thing they never prepare you for as a first time mom is how your breast will just be dripping. So when the milk comes, I'm excited. The next day, I'm sitting down and the whole dress is wet. Like, what is this? And they're like, oh yeah, your breast, the milk is a lot.
You have to be.
At night, I wake up. The whole.
Why weren't you in a bra? And
for me, I used to think, I don't know, my naivety, I used to think the milk
only comes when you're feeding.
You suck. I didn't know that now you just be dripping and and I was used to not sleeping. I mean, not sleeping in a bra. It's night time, put on your night dress. My God.
Guys, never make that mistake.
But you see, those are things they never tell you. They never tell you.
No.
Even you would not tell us
anyway,
on your
me,
channel.
no. Me, the first time I told my mom, Mommy, what's happening? And she told me, you come out with the list. The next morning, I woke up and I was wet. I was like, From that day, bra, forever until
So I started. I had only bras with underwears and my bras were padded. So I start looking for night bras. I'm like, are there bras for night time? I couldn't find any in this country. I started looking online.
The feeding bras.
Those bras were very uncomfortable for me.
Sure.
The materials would itch me, and then I also failed to get breastfeeding bras. I was used to my breasts being held firmly.
You didn't want these ones.
Those bras would just be you.
Like hold up.
Yes, and then
the pressure.
Like after 3 days, I wake up and my breasts are like reaching here. My husband's like,
Yeah.
Anita, when did your breast
The
reach
overnight growth.
Yes. Now those are the shocks that started dawning on me. The sizes of the breast.
Yeah.
I started Googling, looking. Thank God I found some night bras and I shipped them in. Nice cotton, and I was like, okay, this is more like it.
Yeah.
And I was able to now put the disposable pads and sleep well.
Oh,
But then
relief.
I then noticed, aside from my body being swollen in that first week, my jaws, the teeth could not meet.
What happened? Your jaws expanded.
I
What?
I got a hormonal imbalance
Yeah.
that affected my bones. You know, I
Oh
told
my
you my
God.
babies were all over on my back.
Yeah.
And when they came out, it just disorganized my structure. So my teeth were not meeting. There was always a space until 10 months. That is when I could, that's when my teeth started to meet.
No, seriously, we need to
I
honor
couldn't-
moms.
I couldn't-
Because what is that?
Yeah, so I
You couldn't bite meat.
like my teeth would not meet. My fingers,
Yeah.
they bent. This one is still bent. They
Yeah.
deformed. That was another shock. My foot went a size up.
Yeah, that one standard.
My back, I thought like, okay, now because I was that person that sleeps facing up. So I was excited now that these kids are out, I'll sleep facing up. To date, I cannot sleep facing
No, you
up because of
can't,
pain in
yeah.
the spine.
Oh my
My
God.
legs still continue to pain. I
Yeah.
think it's just this month that I can wear heels now. My legs would wiggle. Like when you're walking, they'll be like a jaja. So I'm facing all those body changes, and then you're having these children crying. Do you know the kids crying to a point that their voice traumatizes you?
Yeah.
Every time you hear a baby cry, you panic.
Yeah.
For just like her, for almost, I think 2 weeks, I wasn't sleeping. You're on, is it pilot mode or what? You're
Yeah.
just on overdrive.
Autopilot.
You're just on autopilot. How you're functioning, you don't know, but you're functioning. No sleep, you're eating poorly because you're eating in a rushed way. You're not, and then people tell you, when the baby is sleeping,
Sleep.
And I'm like, do you have twins? Do you understand? what
Even
we're
with the
talking
normal
about?
one.
Even with the normal one,
Yeah,
it doesn't happen.
it's-
When they happen to help you and both sleep, that's the time you use to shower.
To pump.
When you
to
get
what?
out of the shower, you're
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
They're waiting for you. Until one night, my body was so drained that one night, my husband, I don't know where he had gone. There was no one at home. I was alone in the house. The kids are crying. My temperature shot up. It was at 40. I had a high fever. I was sleep deprived. My eyes were swollen. I had no energy. The babies are crying. I am crying. I just sat and looked at them. I was like, today, if you die, you
Yeah.
die.
Cry and
If
finish.
I die,
Wonder.
all of us will go. I'm fed up.
Yeah.
I was exhausted. I'm like, God, I know I prayed for this, but
This is not the
I
gift, eh?
didn't-
Your gift don't add sorrow. Now, yeah, this one, eh? It's adding sorrow, my
It's
dear.
depressing. And the worst thing is to see people moving there, living their normal
Everything
life. Someone is telling you,
continues.
oh, when you keep back, keep slaying.
You're like, I can barely.
I can barely sleep. And you're telling me to look nice.
Yeah. Okay, get
So
it.
I look at the children
Yeah.
crying. I am crying. I am sick. I'm shivering. They were hungry. I could not feed them. I didn't have energy. I didn't even have energy to pick up a phone and call my husband.
Imagine.
So after like 30 minutes, he appears, and I was so mad at him for.
Go.
leaving
Why are
me
you
with
here?
that mess.
Why are
And
you?
yet he had-
Yeah.
I think he had stepped out to pick some things from our home. So that is when depression began.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
On the breastfeeding issue, I can also add that it's a mind game. Yeah. Despite the concoctions that have been made by us, it's a mind game. For me, I saw where mine started to reduce the headache. I wasn't fine upstairs. So
The stress.
the stress. I was stressed. So that is how even my that I could pump started to reduce. And then something also shocked me. I remember I was having a good pregnancy, good standards. Now I got a high BP.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I get this high BP, and I had never been in that kind of situation. And when I talked to my doctor, he was like, you're going. First the headache, now that the BP is high, you're going. Like, finally, it has swept you, you know. And I broke down. Like, you know, I used to hear the word postpartum depression. Now it has swept me. And the realization is hurtful. By the way, it is, in my experience, it is hurtful. And then it stopped everything. That was the beginning of no breast milk. Yeah.
It has to disappear.
Yeah, it disappeared. Yeah, it disappeared, and now I became the patient. We ended up in extra expenses. But I thank God that we could. And that is how we got on board nurses that you pay and
help you at home.
to help at home, because trust me, if you do not have support in a multiple delivery, you've lost it. And I pray for mothers out there who may not be in position to get that, to I don't know, because actually, let me just jot this in. We had a neighbor who got twins, and it was when I got twins that I got to know how she lost one of the twins. She didn't have help. Yeah, she didn't have help. Yeah, you know, two small babies crying at times that are not planned, desiring things that you do not know. You know, you're mad. Yeah. You are mad. Yeah. You are mad. And for me, that was the time when I got to know that, okay, and there could be nurses that are paid out there. Okay, they are there. And by the way, I thank God for the nurse that I got on board. The other lady told me, go hide, pump breast milk, bring it here, go back, hide. And for her, she was alone, but she was managing these babies.
That's why she's not dealing with the hormones and
she's not dealing. But for those 3 weeks that I dealt with those, please don't take me back. Don't take me. I even today, I'm a good mother, but not a super one.
Yeah, and that super mother concept, we have to.
After the 2 weeks, I fell sick, and that began my journey of in and out of hospital.
Yeah.
The milk levels started to go down. Some days it would be 2 liters, other days 1.5, other days 700 ml, because I was in and out of hospital. No infection, no what, no. My immunity became so low because I was so drained, and then I had mentally set high expectations for myself. The external people are also not
pressuring. Yeah.
If someone is a first-time mom or a mom who has just given birth, show them
grace.
Show them grace. Yeah, like be empathetic, like understand the word empathy in all its being. Be empathetic. Stop giving all the unsolicited advice here and there, left, right, and center, that you even make the mother herself start feeling like maybe she's stupid, maybe she doesn't even know
doubting herself.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Just stop it. Allow the mother go through the season. To be honest, if I look back, I remember one time telling my husband, I don't remember enjoying the first months with this baby. I don't even have a memory of I was cuddling the baby. The whole life was mechanical. Pick this one, put back. Like you were just mechanical. You know, there was no, let me
there are those Instagram reels where the new moms are holding their babies, and they pick them up and they fall. I miss those times. I'm like, I do not miss them.
Thank you. We did not have those moments of, let me take a moment. Your ears are like this.
Yeah.
Shower, baby too.
Are you alive?
Change diaper. I remember one time I was so sleepy. It was around 2 a.m. and I was carrying Josh. I slept off while feeding him. I didn't know I was feeding his neck. The milk boy.
Baby.
What woke me up is my mom instinct, I think, triggered. The boy
is about to fall.
I just did this. Only to see I'm holding double legs. The head was.
Yeah.
That is where the sleep disappeared. I felt like, what kind of mom I am? I was just going to break my child's head. And again, I had to show myself grace, like, you're exhausted.
You're tired.
You're tired.
And for me, I just feel like we need to normalize allowing that help. Like these days, there are nurses that can come. Like accept it. We can't do it all. So if you can afford it, please get it.
Then I actually didn't know there were nurses who can come.
No, I said, I think now, high blood pressure, a migraine, they are killing me and they are making me leave the babies that I prayed for. By the way, it is an answered prayer for me. I prayed. My young brother reminded me that about 2009, when we were praying, I told God I want twins.
Wow.
And then I had, now the other mom who lost her twin in our neighborhood, I was so touched that every time I used to go to work, I would come and say, here is milk for Waswa. Yeah, so, but I cannot say that actions lead us there, it's God. Yeah, but that lady, in fact, when she got me that I got twins, she said, I have seen God.
Oh, wow.
I have seen God because you loved my twins. You loved my one twin that remained. So I said I needed to help myself. I needed to help myself. So in these groups that we be on, I kept asking, who's an along on this group? If they don't answer, I don't. Who is an along on this group? And then in one of the groups, someone said, I am here. And I went to their
inbox.
Inbox. I said, can I talk to you? She said, yeah. But I said, talking will take forever. I called. I said, Madam, how old are your twins? She said, they are 4 years. I said, how did you do? She said, now, they are dwellers. But then, you're supposed to have moved. I said, okay. Then, but there are also these nurses. What? I said, how do I get it? I just asked, who is a nalong? Like, I'm about to die. Who
You're
is
dying.
I had 5 groups. Who is a nalong? So there are chances that I couldn't not have God, but I still was ready to maybe walk out of the gate of the human. Who's a nalong in this village?
You were struggling.
I was struggling.
Yeah.
So when I asked this anonymous woman, is the one who sent me to a page online. And then on that online page, I found a number and I called them. And they were like, yeah. So they asked me, where is your location? I told them. So this lady appeared to me the next day. And she's the one who took me through everything. And she actually suggested that now if you're supposed to have someone else as an extra hand, you need to let these other people educate them that now I'm moving on with this person, but for all the right reasons. Because
they'll feel bad.
These ones are not paid to do the work that they are doing.
Yeah.
Yes, they are doing a good work.
But.
Yeah, so now I had to undergo that whole educating, including my dear mom. No, madam, not that your courage is not nice.
But, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm not sleeping. I'm not sleeping and I am tired.
Yeah.
Tired.
Okay, guys. Now,
Yeah.
Anissa, you've talked about you brought in your husband, etc. You're married. At this point, we don't know where your husband is, and
Okay.
etc.
At this point, my husband is present, but now I'm at my mom's home.
Okay,
and
yeah.
you see these
Yeah.
conservatives.
Yeah, you're not allowed to be.
You're not allowed to be. They are also rolling.
But some things we need to first leave them behind. Wanga, we are struggling. I told my mom, me come to my home. Yeah, I'm not, please, I want to be in my environment so that I can feel, calm. Light bulb moment with Lisa. Did you know that your nose is always visible, but your brain chooses to ignore it? Moms, that's how you should be. You see those stretch marks? Ignore them. They are battle marks. But then how are you juggling marriage and motherhood, or even along the journey, even if 10 months, etc. How do you make it work with your husband? Because the truth is, they say the men will feel like now the babies have taken all the time, etc. They also have needs, etc.
So for me, I think what helped on my side is my husband was present at every stage of my pregnancy, my postpartum, and so he could see what I'm going through. He could see the body changes that have happened to me. He could see what I was facing. And then I didn't tell you, when I started feeling the itching on the breast, before I knew it, at 2 months, I started getting rash on my breast. My breast started being hard. I go to hospital. They're like, oh, you have mastitis. So that meant no breastfeeding because I'm on antibiotics. Nothing is changing. It's worsening. Then I would go to another guy. Oh, let me forward you to a ped. A ped would probably be able to help. Same thing. Take antibiotics. Oh, that must be thrush. The children are infecting you with thrush. They were treating my children things they don't have. Only for me to one time discover that my breast skin started peeling off until I had no skin. You know when you have a wound that the top skin has gone off? That's how my breasts were up to here.
Oh my God.
When it got worse, you can imagine how horrible it was to look at the mirror.
Yeah.
Like that. You don't have skin. You're wearing a bra. The milk is dripping. You have to wear a breast pad. The breast pad gets off with
With skin.
The bra gets off his skin. The clothes get off his skin. The bedsheets get off his skin.
Yeah, she had it rough.
It was bad.
I've seen her pictures.
What?
It was bad. So until I'm like, okay, this thing is on the skin. Maybe let me try a
Dermatologist.
So I go, and the dermatologist is like, oh, you should have come early. This is excessive, severe breast eczema. Like, what is this? She's like, yeah, it's a thing. Mothers get it. It's just that society doesn't talk about these things. You are reacting to breast milk.
You are reacting to the
Yes.
breast milk.
So that's why it's not good for women to keep judging. Why is this one not breastfeeding? First, get to
Context.
Don't just conclude. And so they're like, you know what? First things first, your immunity is low. It's failing to fight the eczema. Secondly, I need you to go ask your mom if you had eczema as a child. So I asked my mom. She's like, oh yeah, when you were young, you got eczema. So she's like, so that's when the guy's like, yeah, it's genetic. It's just that your hormonal imbalance has triggered it. And so because you're breastfeeding, it's reacting, and that's why every time your breasts are full, the breasts are itching. Before you know it, the skin. I had pus on my breast. They even had to do a biopsy to see if, I hope it's not a cancer or what.
Oh my
it
God.
was that bad. So you can imagine how depressing that was.
Yeah.
So my husband seeing all these things, realized, I need to show this woman grace. In this season of our life, we need to find other ways to bond as a couple, other ways to relate as a couple, and not go with a status quo of, hey, I'm supposed to, I need to be a human man. I cannot be sleeping with my wife or having
She's going
sex
through
with my
all
wife and she's
this.
in pain and I'm
It doesn't. Some men are just cruel.
It doesn't make sense. So at that point, he asks the doctors, what can we do?
The production team is laughing, but
At that point, he asked, like, what can we? He's like, number one, she needs rest. So you're going to have to do the night shifts alone. She needs rest. Your wife needs rest to recuperate, for her body to come back together, to be able to fight the immunity. They gave me medicine for the first time. The medicine this time was working. And then I had to take a tough decision to quit. Milk.
because you can't. It's
Because
reactive.
either way, the kids were taking 1 tin of formula. It's like the milk was supplementing the formula. Not
Yeah, it was
the
the other way around.
So it had to take me time for it to come to my mind that it's okay to be a mom who hasn't breastfed. Don't feel less of a mom. Don't feel. And I really thank God that didn't allow us to look like our problems, because people would see me out there and not.
What's going on in your?
I don't have skin. I don't have skin. I was under gauze.
Oh
I
my
was bandaged.
God.
It was horrible. I couldn't look at my body. My body would
Yeah,
disgust me.
the confidence.
Yes. And so that's the time when my husband is like, then he had just, before we gave birth, he had, his job had ended. And so he's like, you know what, let me quit job searching.
And first
become
be
a
home.
stay-home dad. Luckily for me, I still had a job, and I was on maternity leave.
And they were
paying
paying.
me. So he's like, instead of us entrusting these kids with a maid and their dad, let me be a stay-home dad. So he became a full-time stay-home dad. He has raised the kids. He had to step up to the game. He showers them, he changes their diapers, he feeds them, he cooks their food. Anything that you would give a baby, he does it. The boys have grown fond of him. They know him as the dad and the caregiver. He takes care of the kids. I would wake up in the morning and see 4 bottles, and I'm like,
They drank all that.
It's like, oh, they woke up 4 times.
Bambinga, you were sleeping.
I had to. It's like, you need to recover. Don't worry about me. I'm okay. We can find other ways to bond as a couple.
God bless that man.
This is a season of our life, and seasons come and go. So I appreciate the season you're in. I understand the season you're in. I'm not going to put my selfish desires that can be on hold.
Honestly, you will not die.
I will not die. So we had to look for other ways. And I think working together, parenting together, people always ask if we have a second way. No, we don't. It's me and my husband who have raised our kids. Again, it's a decision we took.
Yeah.
You decide as per your household. It's a decision we took that we are going to raise these children as a couple. And some of the things that helped us was to invest in equipment that would make babysitting easy. Have everything we need that will make it easy. Our children handbags where you see us, you'll see them. We move with them everywhere. We do everything with them. The maid does maid duties that are not taking care of the children. Once we tried to leave her with the kids for like 15 minutes, we came back home like, Auntie, these kids are a handful.
Yeah.
Now you can imagine
if a maid is feeling like that
way, yeah? You know, and even you, the parent, you get exhausted and you're like, now if I leave in the maid who hasn't
she
given
will
back
suffer.
to these
She will
kids.
say
That frustration makes them do, you know, where the kid is crying non-stop, then is crying, before you know it, you first slap that one to
I
keep
know.
quiet.
Yeah.
It's not that they intend they did, but the frustration is real.
Yeah.
So he took over that role. I resumed work. He kept staying with the kids. We had to find a way to balance and to manage our household, our finances. And for some reason, for every blessing God gives you, He provides. The kids have never lacked formula. They have never lacked diapers.
1 million diapers a day.
Per day. When they were younger, in the first trimester, they were using 14 diapers a day. The pieces of 14 of them a day. So in a month, you're spending like close to 1 million on diapers. But somehow the provision was...
Twins are nice to see when they are twinning. After that,
clothes, you're buying two. Sometimes you're shopping, maybe you're shopping online, and then you remember, you see the price, and then you remember, oh, I'm supposed to times two. It's a lot, but God provides. God provides. So how we managed as a couple, my husband had to become understanding, and it was because he saw every step of the way. He understood where we are coming from, where we're currently at. Sometimes when your spouse is not involved or hasn't seen you through,
they don't get it.
They'll not understand it. They'll just think, how come other women have done it? They just talk. But everyone has a different experience. Do not compare your experiences. Live in your experience. Find ways around your experience.
I love it. Fiona?
Marriage and, I beg your pardon, Lisa.
Marriage and
the
twinning. How are you?
I was, remember now, when I talked to my husband that, you know what, I think this is the way we are going to go. He said, it's fine. So he came humbly, honorably, thanked my papa and mama for the work well done. He said, now, may I take
my wife?
And I would love to thank him that in that moment, love proved something, that it was willing to fight for something. Because if he had said, no, stay there, you see. But he understood that, one, she's my wife first before she became a mother to these people. And he wrote a statement that morning that I took you from that home a long time ago. I had just loaned you there. So now
come home.
Can we go back and we face our movie? He's a traveler, but he cancelled the travels. He cancelled the travels. So he has been grounded home for most of the time. And he has never questioned my ability as a wife, even now. No. He will eat the microwavable food.
Points!
Because, my work is flexible. So, he babysits or he parents from 10 p.m. in the night to 12 p.m. The next day. Wow. I don't know night shifts. I don't know night shifts. Because the day we arrived home, even when I had this nurse, we gave him what happened. So he said, okay, Fiona, goodbye, me and the nurse, for the time that the nurse was with us. So I would wake up and I would ask the
fresh. How was the night?
How was the night? Father and nurse. We are alive.
I love it.
It's like, that's
and by the way,
3 times. Are you sure?
The nurses come at an expense, but we didn't find a problem taking them on, even if he was going to, when his work involves traveling. So even when he was cutting down on the traveling, he said we are going to combine the resources. We agreed that we combine the resources and we pay for this season. But I'm not going to die from that season. He keeps saying that the boys will leave us
Yeah.
And us we shall stay. Yeah. So we are not questioning who's not washing whose clothes. At the moment we have help, but he gets our clothes, mine and his, and puts them in the machine. And he always knows Fiona is going to forget, because when Fiona comes back home, she's mad. So he never asks, I threw my socks in the other corner. Did you know? I threw my socks in the other corner. Let me go back to that very corner. So if he doesn't find them, I'll be like, one of the twins. You know. And then the fact that I underwent a C, he has delved in to do some of what probably would be questionable in a wife list, such as mopping our bedrooms, things like that. The twins haven't really. I would be lying that they've taken at all, but that takes grace and understanding partner. Actually, the twins haven't really taken at all on our marriage. Maybe I'm not observant, but according to my score, it hasn't. I don't think there is need to create unnecessary fights when someone can see the season that you as a couple are going through. I mean, we've been blessed with two little humans who are a handful day in, day out. So life is normal. Life is normal, as a marriage should be. And there is no asking for extra of the overboard. No. If the baby is throwing a tantrum on some nights, I can also wake up. I mean, also the other person is a human being. I can also wake up, and then we see that together. Where our bills are not really, I mean, and I've learned that the easiest way to do life is actually to just take it as simple as it comes. There is no need to, especially when God has placed you into a certain season, there is no need to keep a rigid mind. I mean, why didn't you make juice? Why wear my shirts?
Adjust to the season.
To the season. And even same applies to us ladies. Yeah, it also applies. Now, I don't ask for too many no-bars.
Lipstick, white, please. Then you can see the diapers.
Yeah, then yet you can see. You cook kakana. Because in any case, we are here for a short while, and then we shall leave. And even the boys will grow up and they will leave us.
I love it. Okay.
I think for me, the lessons I learned, and I could pass on to other people, is that number one, pray together as a couple. It's very important, because at that place of prayer, there's a way God gives you a peace and gives you the grace. Number two, recognize and realize that marriage is a partnership. And it's in seasons and phases. Once you are in the honeymoon season, it ended. The next minute you're in a season of scarcity, it ends in a season of... So if you are in that season of parenting, embrace it, enjoy it, and live in the season. Don't be quick to, no, we have to do this. Live in it, suck it in, enjoy it, learn from it. I could say, like, for us, becoming parents has made us more mature in marriage. We've learned how to resolve conflicts in a more mature way. We've learned how to live in harmony as two mature adults. The children have brought us together because we have partnered, and we've realized and recognized we are two people in this thing. We carry the baby together, we get birth together, we are going to do parenting together, and this is just that season. It's also going to pass. Now the boys are older, now we all sleep at night. They sleep through the night. That season has also passed, you know, so we can go back to enjoying ourselves intimately or other ways that we would have. And then it also, be creative and accept to evolve in marriage. Don't be stagnant and, you know, rigid in marriage. Evolve, because as it has seasons, you're going to have to fit into those new seasons. The other thing is that get support when you are a new parent, but if you realize that the support is giving you a negative energy, or it's affecting you mentally, it's okay to walk away. Go and find what gives you peace. And do not ever feel less of a a parent or a mom. Just because you have failed at what others are doing best, you're seeing this person online telling you, for me, I breastfeed up to 3 years. That is them. Focus.
Or
focus
snap
on
back
you.
after
Snap
2
back,
months.
it's
We should
1
not see
week,
that tummy.
flat tummy.
Yeah. Oh my God, I have a
Your
huge stomach.
body carried 2 humans or a human. You formed a human. It's not easy. There are people out there that still want to form humans. And you've gotten this privilege and honor to do so. Love your body the way it is.
And
in that another season, you'll snap back and go wherever you want to go, but enjoy it.
Yeah, I would also like to add that actually don't expect to achieve as much at everything as you were achieving before.
Yes.
Yeah, prior to parenting, remember where we started? I was up and about. That's why
Traveling.
traveling.
What?
And we are 2 travelers. Yeah. But we've been grounded, my friend, since September last year. The Lord humbled us to Uganda, eating dust. So but it wasn't easy to accept it. It wasn't because you have all these things laid out on you, and it can also make you at some point dread the children.
You can
you see them as you see them as a stumbling block to your goals, roadblocks, and by the way, they can become on some days.
You plan your life around them.
And now extend grace to yourself. Extend grace to everyone else that is in the system. Because I used to enjoy farming, but I don't do it as much. I cannot be in my garden as much. These boys. And then I have had to say more sorries at work for coming late. It used not to be me.
You were the
not
on
really,
time.
not really, but I'm performing. Can't you see? But now performing is a little bit, and so I've been more humbled to say I'm so sorry I didn't perform today. I'm rushing back. So and I think also the season has molded maybe a better. More humility has been grounded in me. So we shouldn't also forget our spirituality. What is the season causing us to do? The Bible says that we keep being worked on, getting better and better in the knowing of the Lord. So if you can't take a step back and see what is the season teaching me, it has taught me to now love my husband more because I can see his being hands-on. That man can be awake. This baby I've fed this one. Now, as soon as, so I'm like, wow, what kind of love and what kind of giving is this? It is too much. And then at the same time, also, I've come to know that I never knew I had so much power to, I have done it. Here I am. I underwent depression. It was a journey to overcome it. By the mine was a journey to really get rid of that headache. But I've come out of it, and the babies are here, and the family system hasn't yet broken. So I never knew that I could hold this together. So you pat yourself at the back, but then you go like, God, give me the grace not to forget, to stay humble, and to and to keep maturing in all ways, like she has said. So
forgive the people around you. They did whatever they did out of ignorance. These are not their children. They didn't know better. Forgive them. Forgive yourself for what you thought you could not do. You did your best.
Wow.
And if you can, do not become pregnant soon.
Give it a rest. Give it a rest. Let your body rest.
Let your body.
Wow. Okay. All right. Guys, new moms, you have had new moms, husbands, mothers. Please, I hope this will, help you on your journey. It certainly has given me some light bulb moments. So please take it a day at a time. Embrace your season. Like Anita and Fiona have said, thank you so much for coming to the channel. Your stories have blessed me. Like, I thought I was having it rough, but So guys, please take a moment and rest, even as moms. Go out, when you found some level of balance, go out and enjoy some time with maybe one friend or two to just breathe and talk about it so that you can just feel better.
And get a buddy.
Someone, like now you,
buddy,
exactly,
yeah.
just like she reached out, who is analog, like
Yeah.
please
Get
look
a
out
buddy.
for moms that can be in your space that can support you.
In that
Yeah,
season.
yeah, in that season. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you've learned something. And if you are a new mom out there or a mom, you can come to Canary Hotel. A staycation is only, I think, 450,000, yes, and you can get a discount on it, 10%, using my code Lisa K. You get a discount. Come, just sleep in, enjoy a good meal. Shower that water with lots of pressure. I know many of people are struggling with pressure. Please come to Canary Hotel and you will be, rested. Yeah. My name is Lisa Kusima. As always, I'm here to inspire.